Hey everyone, Daenerys Lewis here, host of StartUps. Today we're interviewing Cartier Banks. How's your day going so far, brother?
Pretty good, bro. Pretty good. How about yourself?
Blessed, happy to be here, happy to wake up, and it's not too much snowy outside.
Right. That's beautiful.
So talk about your upbringing, who you are, and if people don't know who you are, who is Cartier?
So obviously, I go by Cartier Banks. I'm 28 years old. I'm originally from Harlem, New York. Grew up, with pretty much absolutely nothing, but as a kid, I was always the outcast because I thought different than other people. So one of my first gigs that I ever done, how I fell in love with entrepreneurship, is when my grandmother, she finally allowed me to go outside because my mom was really strict. So I started off by walking a few blocks down to the gas station and pumping gas for money. And then also washing cars with the fire hydrant on my local street. So, that's kind of the beginning of the situation. And then it just kind of escalated from there, elevated from there. After high school, I graduated and I moved to Minnesota because I knew that I had to get out of my environment in order to make a difference in my life. So coming here and not knowing anybody was one of the best things that I could have done because I was able to start over from scratch. So I wouldn't get sucked into the rat race, like we call it, just like most of my friends and people that I know have done. So yeah.
So what motivates you?
Honestly, just life, just being able to just live abundantly, time freedom, money freedom, being able to spend time with my loved ones, that's always one of the things to me that was important because when I was growing up, I didn't get to spend a lot of time with my dad. So I wanted to make sure that my decisions that I make today, is gonna benefit my kid growing up, so I can be able to be at his basketball games and be there throughout his life. So
cool, I like that. And you talk about freedom. In what ways are you creating that freedom in your lifestyle?
By creating residual passive income. So if people don't know what that is, that's basically mailbox money, right? It's money that comes in every month, the same way your bills do. So as long as my adventures and my ventures pay for my lifestyle, then I have that freedom to do whatever I want.
What are some of the assets that you're building up?
I have an ATM business. I'm really big into e-commerce, so I have a couple different online stores going through Shopify, Amazon, and those kind of things. And I'm just trying to, what else? I mean, it's a lot, to be honest. I can't even think of everything I'm doing sometimes, but I'm big into e-commerce, I'm big into network marketing, and I also have a teeth whitening business. So my goal is to eventually franchise that business. So, due to COVID, you know what I mean?
Yep.
We got to do what we got to do in the meantime.
Yep.
Yep.
Talk about your teeth whitening business. What got you into that?
Oh, man. So when I first moved to Minnesota, my first job was at the Burnsville Mall, right?
Burnsville. I'm a Burnsville, Burnsville alumni. I got to throw that out there.
So I was selling cell phone cases, right? And the guy that I was working for, he was like an Indian.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
from Burnsville.
Yep. And he was just balling. I mean, he just made money. So I would always ask questions, but he told me, he was like, you know what? When you get old, just like me, you'll figure it out. But I'm thinking in my head, I don't want to wait till I get old, to be able to live my life, I want to kind of do it. I want to speed up the process a little bit. So there was a guy that was doing teeth whitening in the mall. Mm-hmm. So randomly, I ran into him years later because he kind of disappeared. I found out later on that he got sick and he wasn't able to take care of his 7 locations that he had. So he stopped doing that. So I ran into him at the Ridgedale Mall. He was selling sheets and I seen him, me and him had a conversation and somehow it came up about the teeth whitening business. He was like, you know what? Since I no longer have this business anymore, would you like to buy the equipment from me that I had? And I was like, sure, I'll give it a shot. Yep. So I purchased the equipment I looked at spaces, and of course I went back to the Burnsville Mall. I rented out a space. And even though that's not the greatest mall, you know, it wasn't the greatest mall at the time. But I was just excited to be able to like have my own physical business that was more than just online where people could see it. You know, I wanted people to be able to walk into my business or walk into my establishment and get to feel the hard work that I'm putting in. And I really enjoy watching like people smiling, right? It's one of your biggest assets. So if I can increase that part of your life, you know, to me, I feel like I'm doing it justice. So
that's dope. I love that. And yeah, I would definitely piggyback on Burnsville Mall. I was a Burnsville Mall rat growing up at high school, and I used to hang out on the second floor over by Zoomies.
Right,
so
okay.
If you know Burnsville, you know that. It's right by. Cool. That's awesome. And so you're juggling so many businesses. You're an entrepreneur. How do you find time in your personal life just to find balance?
I mean, you just got to make it happen. As you know, as being an entrepreneur, nothing ever works on time, right? Because things always come up, you know, but you just got to figure out a way to squeeze it in there, because you have to find time to be able to have that social life. Because, you know, it's a struggle when you're trying to be successful and you want to work hard, but you don't want to beat yourself up about it to where it starts to feel like a job, you know. All your adventures should be fun in the process, so it doesn't feel like work. So
I like that.
Yeah.
In what ways do you find balance? And like, what ways you're breaking free? Are you traveling? Like, what does balance look like to you?
Travel. Like, I just book a random trip. I'll just jump on a plane with no bags, no nothing. Like, that's my way of being able to, like, to think. Like, my brain works a lot better and more clear when I don't have my distractions in front of me. So if I'm in Florida right now, I'm not thinking about work. I'm thinking about work, but I'm not thinking about work, because I'm not like, I don't see my work desk. I don't see my computer. You know, I don't have to go to the office or have to do an appointment. So those are one of the reasons why I do that. So I could just, bring.
Lewis, the CEO of Optimum Outreach. Optimum Outreach is a telecom brokerage where we assist businesses with their phone, TV, internet, and wireless services. We understand how frustrating it can be for business owners and IT professionals to discuss their needs with salespeople. Optimum Outreach offers an unbiased menu of options based on our clients' needs and locations with highlighted recommendations from experts. We work with businesses across the nation who find us organically on our website or are referred to us through our ambassador program, where we empower folks with tools and resources to create their own businesses. Optimum Outreach, working together to win together. Like that. And with all the business that you're juggling, the hats that you're wearing, what do you see yourself or your business in the next 5 to 10 years?
My goal, to be honest, to a lot of people, it might not sound realistic, but my plan is to be worth $20 million. That's kind of my self goal. You know, to a lot of people that might not sound real, but I've seen people do it. You know, so it's like, why not me? Right? So there's no difference between us. There's no difference between the guy next door across the street. You got the same opportunities as everybody else.
Everyone's given 24 hours. It's just how we manage those 24 hours.
Exactly.
And one thing I've learned being an entrepreneur, everyone, or people who want to be entrepreneurs, is that if we broke down your time, and how you're investing in your time, it really breaks down how you're not investing in most of the time, many people aren't investing in themselves. And as we were talking earlier, we spend more time investing in other people's dreams, and rather than investing in our own. And we live our life aimlessly in the rat race of trying to figure things out. And I'll digress from the conversation, but I do a lot of DoorDash, I'm meeting, I'm networking, but the other day I was outside Aldi's doing an Instacart, and I saw the man, he was hustling, his hustle was different, everyone's hustle is different. But he started talking to me, he was 59 years old, and I didn't understand why he needed my cart. But I forgot, Aldi, you put 25 cents in to get a cart. So he's going around waiting for people to go to their car and take their cart back for them, just to be nice. I'm like, oh, he's being nice. No, he's collecting 25 cents each time he's getting someone's cart. I was like, this man's a hustler. But I understand the hustle. So I was like, did I just get a hustle for my 25 cents? Like, I was glad he wanted my cart. I didn't want to walk all the way back out. It was cold. But I was like, when I drove off, I was like, no, he's getting 25 cents. He sit there all day, he can have $1.
Right.
4 people, you know, woo, woo, woo.
You do that all day.
Do that all day. Yeah. You got bus fare, you got whatever. So I was like, man.
Food, you name it.
The Aldi grocery cart hustle. So the hustle is out there. So as an entrepreneur, what would you say to an up-and-coming person that is hearing your story, that didn't grow up with their having a relationship with their father, and they see someone in your shoes that they want to be something similar? What's some advice would you tell a younger you?
Sheesh. Don't pay attention. Okay, let me rephrase it. All right, let me really think about this. If you buy someone's opinion, then you have to buy their lifestyle.
Yep.
So no matter how much you care about a person or love a person, if they're not where you want to be in life, be careful who you're listening to.
Yep.
So find a mentor, find somebody that have what you want, and if you do what they do and say what they say, eventually you can have what they have.
Yep. I've heard that in a couple of Jim Rohn quotes, and that is very true.
Yeah.
And when I have a lot of my mentors growing up, that was the biggest thing they said. And when we started this business, I had to meet up with one of them. His name's Chow,
right?
Because he's doing it and he's doing it well,
right?
And that was one of the first people that, like, when I heard that quote, I was like, all right, it makes sense.
Right, it's a fact.
It's a fact, and he guided me toward a lot of my financial decisions.
Right.
He's like, I was going through hoopties, buying cars. As an entrepreneur, we're just trying to cut some corners. I just needed what and that.
Right.
But I had to eventually invest in a car that's reliable. He said, if you want to have a stable lifestyle, be everything that you hope to be, the first ways of doing that is having stable transportation.
Right.
Get the stable transportation, then you'll get the property, then you'll continue to scale up. And I got my stable car, and the next thing was my first property, and it's just been going there and there. So
that's amazing.
But it all came from that advice from a person that again didn't have the time for me, was making the time for me. I had the love for me, that transition of understanding that. So I love that. Now, for the businesses that you're managing right now, what does your schedule look like on a daily basis?
So I will wake up in the morning, do my regular routine, eat breakfast, whatever the case may be. I'll jump on an early morning trading session. So for those that don't know, it's kind of like trading stocks, but it's currency, nerdy stuff a little bit, right? And then, I'll do homeschool with my son. And meanwhile, I have somebody that's at my teeth whitening business between Monday and Wednesday. It's a partner of mine. And then I'm there from Thursday to Saturday. So that's kind of how my day works. I trade, I spend time with my son during the week because, spoke about that free time. Yep. That's pretty much it. I kind of loosened up my time a little bit so I can be able to, spend enough time with him as possible. And then I just really, really grind for the rest of the week when I don't have him due to parenting schedule. So
I love that. Yeah. Dad, entrepreneur. What don't you do?
I don't know, man. Like I'm all about making life easier. So even my online stores, I got it started. I put a lot of work into my store, but I hire virtual assistants that run my store for me. So I just look at my ad account like once a week to make sure it's still profitable at this point. So
I love that. It's the system. You scale up and you put people in places so you can have that freedom.
Right.
Where did you learn all this from? Where did this drive come from?
Which one? Oh, like the
drive.
e-com?
Like you have the drive to always want to succeed and the drive to always want to do something different.
So I learned from a mentor to just make life easier. So if you want to become a millionaire, you have to make $2,700 and something a day. So if you can figure out multiple things to bring in money, you just think about that number and you'll get to your goal. So, if you make $600 a day doing this, you might just need another thing that make you $600 a day doing that. Eventually it hit $2,700 and you can change your life. So that's what I'm working on. You know what I mean? So money should always be working for you on a continuous basis.
That's affirmations.
You're right.
Come on. That's Bob Proctor right there. Trust me, I listen to the same stuff and I preach the same message. So it's very cool to hear another person living that frequency.
Yeah.
And because we have to get it. We once weren't.
Right.
We once weren't. We were trying to figure it out, either going to school, getting a good job, retiring at an age that I can't even change my own underwear.
Right.
And I didn't want that lifestyle.
Right.
And so it's cool to see other like-minded folks doing so.
Yeah.
That is cool, man.
Appreciate it.
That's dope. That's dope. Now, for some of your next businesses, ventures, how do you decide when you're building a business with a partner? Like, what are the traits that you're looking for in the people that you surround yourself with, or even travel with?
What's really funny is I'll find somebody that kind of reminds me of myself. I can see like the quality of like somebody that wants more. So if I feel like I'm a pretty good judge of character. So I'll bring them in and give them an opportunity if I know that they have the drive. And I know that when you're young, you don't know everything. But if you're willing to learn and be coachable, you can help somebody take it to the next level. So it's not necessarily about bringing somebody in that already know everything, because sometimes there could be a conflict of interest. If you're dealing with somebody that feel like they know everything, then it might not even be your business anymore at that point, right? Because they too competitive, like strong-minded. If that makes sense,
they come in with their own agenda, and their agenda doesn't. If it doesn't coordinate with what their beliefs are, they put up a wall.
Exactly.
So I definitely understand that. Where can people stay connected with you?
Follow me on Instagram at it's Cartier Banks on Instagram. That's pretty much like the main social media I use, and also the same thing on Snapchat. So those are my best social media contacts to get a hold of me.
For your location with your teeth whitening business, where's that located?
We're located in Edina. So it's called Cold White Teeth Whitening. We're located in Edina, right across from the Galleria.
Cool. Yeah. All right, off France. Definitely know that area. I used to live in Edina, right off France. So.
Oh, really? Yeah, it's right off France, literally.
Where's it by, location?
It's right by the BMO Bank.
All right.
Right?
I know
that
where you're
sense?
at. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
BMO Bank's right there in that corner.
Yeah.
There's Tavon France.
Right.
So cool.
Exactly.
You were in a really prime spot. How'd you find that location?
Oh, man.
That's a very prime spot.
Yeah, how did I find it? That's a good question. Sorry. So there was a building that was in Burnsville. It was like a solar salons, type of deal. So once I was trying to weed away from the mall type deal, because I didn't have no control over my time, being there. I like the fact that you can just rent out a suite and be independent. So I had ended up stumbling along Salon Concepts in Edina, and then I decided to just move with that location.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's dope.
My own spot, my own suite. Leave, go when I want without being charged no fees, because that's what they was doing at the mall.
That again, every structure is different when it's commercial.
Yeah,
so I like that you broke that, because I always meet a lot of hairstylists and stuff like that. They have their own suite.
Yeah.
And I never knew that structure, what that looked like, and because that freedom as entrepreneurs is what we strive for. So it's cool that you can leave, but as you're leaving, you're putting someone in place.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
Yep.
Well, cool, Cartier. It was nice talking to you guys. Again, everyone, this is StartUp. We're here with Cartier Banks. You can follow him at Cartier Banks. And stay tuned as we continue to build out this podcast.
Yes, sir.